Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 21 of FTB Interactions. To start, things off today, let's take a look at our chicken production. So we have a radon chicken laying radioactive eggs being turned into radon. Uh-oh, wow, we haven't produced much of it. 52 buckets over the course of, I think it's about half a day? Oh well, not bad. Considering the only cost here is that we have a chemical reactor running at, I guess, just about 100% uptime. I think the chicken is faster at laying eggs than the chemical reactor is at consuming them. Anyways, that has allowed us to produce the improved nether star. So, with that, we are just about ready to tackle the latticite chicken. Let's check on the flux. I'm still not quite sure how to make it, but if what I've read is correct, I think if our life essence here has been struck by lightning, which I guess it hasn't. Do I have to be in this dimension for lightning to strike it? I'm actually not sure. Well, it is definitely chunk loaded. Yeah. Oh well, no antimatter then for now. I guess we'll do our backup plan, which is to get flux from the quest. However, that requires a little bit of tungsten, if I recall. So the fluid relay quest rewards 8 flux, which is enough for now, but this does require 2 tungsten plates. So tungsten ingots have to be frozen. They're made from tungsten dust in 3000, so I think we might need to upgrade our coils as well, but just MV. Alright, so tungsten dust. If we can get to the end, we can get scheelite or tungstate. I think that's the only way to do it. Let me see. The alternative is to process endstone in a inferno deconglomerator. So endstone for now is made through starlight transmutation of moon turf, but I think it's easier just to go to the end. Let me see what that entails. Maybe it's a journey on its own, but I think we have to build this. What's it gated by? All right, it's gated by a quest that we've done but hasn't been marked off because we didn't do prereqs. So these two are easy. This indium, I think it's the indium gallium phosphate recipe, right? Is that how it's made? Wait, no, that's what you make with it. What do you make indium then? It's probably tiny piles. Here we go. Indium concentrate and aluminum, which is galena, sphalerite, and sulfuric acid. Okay, that's not bad. And we only need a single piece of dust for now. Yeah, nothing here seems unreasonable. So the only challenge is this end rod. I figured out why this recipe exists. To do this easy recipe, you need a single end rod. So you have to get your first end rod through this torture. Thankfully, we already have our fusion crafter, so it's just a matter of... Really, it's just a matter of making empowered void crystals, isn't it? Alright, let's do this. Up on our space station, our chest here is full. I'm just going to pull some stuff out of it that we might need, like obsidian and skystone. Actually, I came here for one of these types of crystals makes void crystals. I'm trying to figure out which one it is. It's orange crystal blocks that make black crystal shards that make void crystals. Oh look, the bonus product is tiny indium. I don't even have to go through that other indium process. So let's also grab our orange crystals. I guess my inventory's full. That is what my white ender chest is for. Where's my white ender pouch? We can just get out of here. And it all goes to storage. Alright, so give me orange crystals. How many do we have? 4 stacks? Hopefully that's enough to get 1 piece of indium. Let's see how lucky we get. With the indium chance being 11.5% per crystal block, the odds of not getting 9 of them are like 0.0000, whoopsies, 0.0001%. So it's less about getting lucky and more about not getting incredibly unlucky. Let's see if I can. Haha, I did it. Put the chest back. Alright, so pulverize. Oh, it even goes fast. Yeah, look at that. The odds are pretty good. We've already gotten 4, 5. Anyways, out of this comes our indium and our void crystals. So then we just have to empower them on our agglomeration plate, not amalgamations, because those are totally different. I guess I need flawless coal as well. Probably easiest way is to, sift purified coal ore. Alright. Once again, I find myself needing unstable mana to make these mana pearls. So I think it's about time we automated it. What are the components here? Mana, ethanol, redstone, and power catalyst, huh? Alright, well, of these, I mean, none of them are particularly difficult. I just need a plan. The best way to get mana is either, can I make this chicken yet? I can with some difficulty, huh? That's probably easier than the other way of making mana, which is through this guy, which turns Botania mana into wizardry mana. Alright, I guess we have a chicken in front of us. You need mana to make mana, huh? I guess I'll make a small batch of mana by hand so that I can create this chicken. Oh, I'll make a rather large batch of mana by hand because I need 20 plus buckets of it. Alrighty, 40 buckets of unstable mana. That should be enough for the near term. Now I need to make 4 resonating gems and a couple mana dust, huh? That doesn't look too bad. First you make the dust, and then you put all the dust together into the big dust. Apparently takes a little bit of time. And mana dust, alright. Well, later I think these dusts can be made more easily from our primal chicken. Which, I should look into making this as well while I'm at it. Yeah, well, we'll do it when we need it. The decision to make multiple mana pools is paying off now. Each of these resonating gems takes half a mana pool each. So, 4 of them take 2 pools. So if I only had 1 mana pool, I'd have to wait for it to refill. But since past Jimmy thought I had and made 7 mana pools, I guess only 4 of them are in range. But we don't have to wait for mana pools to refill, and our gems are crafted. So with that, I think we should be ready to make the chicken. This is probably one of the least abusive chickens we've ever made. There's nothing here that's like glaringly toxic. I mean, who knows, maybe mana dust is toxic, but this chicken will probably live a long and happy life. It makes me unreasonably upset how difficult it is to get stacks of items out of barrels. First of all, barrels are left click to get items, or left click for a stack, whereas caches are shift left click for a stack. Secondly, if you hit a barrel with something like a pickaxe type tool, you don't get stuff out of it. Okay, maybe it's not a big deal, but I'm annoyed. That wasn't quite as bad as I expected it to be. So our mana chicken produces mana eggs, which gets turned into mana in light wells. 4 light wells is actually pretty slow at this, so I'll probably be expanding this at some point. But the mana temporarily gets stored in a drum buffer, and where it gets sent to a mixer, where it's mixed with ethanol. Right now I'm just providing ethanol manually. I only have 1 MV brewery making it. At some point I think I'll make a ethanol farm and provide it via either the logistics pipe system or the 82 system if we've upgraded by then. And then redstone and simple power catalysts are supplied via a logistics pipe. And why is this not mixing? Oh, because we don't have enough mana yet. So once it produces 10 buckets of mana, it'll make 2 buckets of unstable mana. So the bottleneck here, pretty hard, is the rate at which these light wells produce mana. During the day, you can see it's very slow. It's slightly better at night, but even then it's not very fast. But this is almost all fully automated. The only manual bit is I have to, for every bucket of unstable mana, I have to provide, I think it's, for every 2 buckets of unstable mana, I need to manually provide 1 bucket of ethanol. Still, that means the 128 buckets I primed it with will produce 256 buckets of unstable mana. And that'll keep me going for quite a while. Anyways, then let's see about making these empowered. So I need a void crystal, flawless coal, and mana pearl. And then we just have to agglomerate that. Should definitely take my magnet off for this bit. Wait, did my magnet not yoink those items? Oh, I guess Botania automatically makes the magnet not yoink items that are on the agglomeration plate? Is that really how that works? Will it yoink items that aren't on the plate once the cooldown period is off? Ah, you know, Britannia's an incredibly smart mod. It figures if you're dropping items on this thing that you have to drop items on, maybe you should turn the magnet off automatically so it doesn't steal them. I've always put a Solgania next to this or taken my magnet off manually. Anyways, today I learned. For making endstone, let's briefly borrow our collector crystal here. So we'll link you to these four. Because it's doing 4 blocks at a time. Are you linked? It says you're linked. I don't see a light beam. Anyways, because it's doing 4 blocks at a time. Oh, it's probably blocked by the torch. That's what it is. Because it's doing 4 blocks at a time, it'll be a little bit on the slow side. But once these are transformed, those will be the 4 blocks of endstone we need for our end rod. Have I tried this before? Does accelerating that help? Or does accelerating these help? Doesn't look like it, huh? Alas. I just went to refill my tartaric gem, and while I was out fighting, I noticed something. My food bar's not full. This is like the first time I've had to eat in maybe 10 episodes. And with that, let's do our infusion to make our first end rod. I think we only need 1 for now, which is good because we can't duplicate it yet. You can't get popcorn's fruit until you go to the end. Although once you go to the end, you can probably get end rods as drops off the end cities, right? This will probably take a little while. How many million RF is it? Yeah, 7. So it'll take a little bit. One thing I realized was I still have my beacon on regen. And with, 1 heart, regen doesn't exactly do anything because it doesn't affect your absorption hearts. So what do we want to set it to? Really doesn't matter. Let's go speed 2. Not change my mind. Let's go jump 2. This way I think I can jump over stuff like jump over 2 block tall things in 1 jump. So let's find like this here, 2 block tall. Yeah, I can make it over 2 blocks without a double jump. I don't know, minor quality of life things. I still can't make it over this because this is 3 blocks tall. While our end rod crafts, let's get some of these quests out of the way. This isn't the route I'm going to craft indium, but this quest probably blocks things. No, it doesn't. Never mind. Well, whatever. I'm going to get the quest out of the way because maybe there's useful rewards like that. So I need the purified ores. Completes that one. These rewards are useless. Here I need some aluminum dust. Now at this point too, I can process this aluminum ore directly into aluminum ingots, as you can see in the tooltip. So I'm probably not going to use much more aluminum dust to make it the blast furnace way, because why work harder when you can work less hard? My aluminum, there it is. And lastly, indium. It's in one of these output chests. Here we go, 38. Aha, we've completed a chapter. And 1 more infusion for the void tier. Or not, what am I doing wrong? Oh, that's not a nocturnal powder, that's wither ash. Sneaky. Let's try that again. 1 more infusion for a void tier, and we're off to the races. Alright, then now let's build our end portal. So you need a 3x3 of end stone, then surround that with obsidian. And above it, I'm not actually sure how many blocks above it. Let me look this up. Yeah, I can't find documentation. I can just find a picture that's pretty unclear. So we'll just guess. That looks about right. Maybe 1 more. Anyways, you build some number of blocks above it, put another piece of end stone, an end rod on the underside of that, and click the end rod with an evil tier. And click the end rod. And then it opens an end portal. Aha, how convenient. So before I jump in, let me make a matter receiver so I can teleport to the end in the future. Well, when we go to the end here, I suspect the first thing we'll have to do is fight the Ender Dragon. To progress further, you'll need to... yeah. But let's start by killing the Ender Dragon. I guess I don't have flight, which is a little annoying. Let's see how much this hurts. Didn't even touch my health bar. Did what, like 1 heart of absorption damage? Probably easier if I just use the bow, huh? That was a good shot. Is that all of them? Think so? Now for the extremely difficult Ender Dragon fight. So once we kill the Ender Dragon, we have access to all the resources here in the end, which mostly anyways, is Tungstate and Sheelite. Although, you know what? How about after we kill the Ender Dragon, let's take a detour and kill the Chaos Dragon, just for funsies. There's a bunch of ways to easily kill the Chaos Dragon in this pack. Perhaps the most obvious one is that the Mantle of the Stars gives you 100% Chaos immunity, but that would make the fight too easy. Let's try a different way. Where'd that egg go? Ha! On second thought, the Chaos Dragon is going to take quite a bit of detours. I have to go get a different weapon, and I have to do some other Astral Sorcery stuff. So instead of going on more detours than we already have for today, let's put that off for another time. For now, let's just go back to the end and get that tungsten, which begs the question of why bother leaving the end in the first place. But once we're here, let's just use our scanner to see if we can find some tungsten. I'm sure it's just in the same giant veins as usual. I can find my scanner. And a lot of small veins of stuff down there. Let's see what's down there. So here's a tungstate vein. It contains tungstate and scheelite, both of which are effectively tungsten ores, but they require a little processing. And I guess the other veins we're seeing... Oh wait, dimensional shards, that's what it is. The other veins we're seeing are probably these dimensional shard veins. And the other one, another large vein that's down here, are molybdenum, which I think is a useful ingredient later when you have to make like higher tier motors and stuff. If you're looking for these on the surface, tungsten veins have this this plant that marks it, and then the other vein, the molybdenum vein, has these tiny piles of molybdenum dust that mark it. So I suspect there's a vein just under this somewhere. And I'm willing to bet that that's a molybdenum vein. Let's go check it out. Here it is. Wolframite, molybdenite. Yep. Let's go ahead and process our tungstate. Step 1 is to hammer it down. At some point I'll switch over to using the ore processing system. I think if we can turn it to like dense ore and go from there. But for now, this is just faster and easier. Anyways, and out of one stack, we got, what, 8? A little over 8 stacks. Whereas if we process it tungsten this way, from one piece of tungsten, or one stack of tungsten ore, we can, let's see, first make it dense with a chemical bath, then react it with mana and life essence to make it a shard. And I think this is the last step we can do for now, is turn the shard into a crystal, which means that for each stack of ores, we would have gotten 16 stacks. So it's slightly more, well, it's significantly more efficient to go through the processing route. You get about twice as much yield, and there's more steps that you can do later once you have UU matter and stuff. But for now, I don't need quite that much. How can I process this? Washing it. Usually I just check, is it worth washing? Washing often changes the byproduct of the second pulverization step, but I don't care about either possible byproduct, so we'll just skip it because that's an extra step. Anyways, this is the easy part. Once you get impure piles, in fact, I don't even bother centrifuging it, I'll just throw it into a cauldron. But this tungstate dust has to be electrolyzed to turn it into tungsten dust. That requires a bit of hydrogen, that's easy. However, it requires a EV electrolyzer. So let's see about making a little bit of EV power. So I'm debating between two options here for EV power. One is the EV diesel generator. This is a multi-block diesel generator that produces up to 3 amps of output if you give it oxygen as well as diesel fuel. That seems like a pretty good deal. The alternative is just an easy solution, and that's to use a transformer to step up HV to EV. But I think it's worth making the diesel generator, especially because we have so much nitro-infused diesel sitting around. So let's pin these. If I recall, this takes a lot of titanium to make. I think these engine intakes, yeah, they take titanium rotors, which are like 4.5 ingots each. In addition to titanium pipes, which are 3 ingots each. The gist is a lot of titanium. Good news is we have a lot of titanium. It looks like I do also need to set up EV motors, pistons, processors, etc. All right, well, hold on. We need tungsten steel wire for this. So I guess we can't do this until we have EV infrastructure. Okay, then I guess we'll do the other option first then, and that is a transformer to power one machine. In addition to the EV transformer, making the EV electrolyzer will take some circuits, namely these nanoprocessor assemblies. Oopsies. I think the quantum processor is like it's same tier, but it's a good version, so we can't make those yet. These have to be made from our HV processors. All right, so into here go all these inputs. Anything else goes in the chest. And it needs its fluid, so soldering away. And we're off to the races. Very, very slowly. The quest reward for gathering up 16 of these is pretty nice. It includes these qubit CPU wafers, which we can't make yet. They're, in fact, they're quite a bit out of reach. I think we need... Oh, no, maybe they're not that far out of reach. We just need gallium arsenide. Well, in any event, they're nice to have. They will unlock the easier way to make these circuits in a little bit. When you use your transformer, make sure you hit it with a hammer to set it to transforming up mode. And then you can put your EV machine here. Nothing should burn up. This draws 4 amps of HV, which is fine because our signalum wire can handle exactly 4 amps. So into this, we toss some of our dust, which should be waiting for us in here. I guess we have to wash the dust first. If you care for byproducts, you should wash the dust in a centrifuge. If not, just throw it into a cauldron. And this is much faster and uses no energy. So when I don't care for byproducts, and I obviously have none of this automated, I will just wash it by hand in a cauldron. Anyways, then we come over to our electrolyzer and throw this in, and I guess we have to supply it with hydrogen, don't we? Hydrogen then is provided through our big old conduit network, and as usual, just filter on the input side. So hydrogen comes into here. This process is pretty slow, and because it's run on a transformer, I can't actually use my time in a bottle on it. That'll make it draw too much power. At least it likely will. Let's see. Yeah, it's at the very high end of EV power consumption already, so I can't accelerate it. But anyways, it produces some byproduct oxygen that I don't care about, so I throw that away. And out the other end comes tungsten. Nice. So now I just need to cook this in a blast furnace and then cool it. We can cook it in any blast furnace, I guess. And in fact, at this point, we could probably even make a bit of tungsten steel if we really cared. Let's take a look for that. Tungsten steel is HV and a high temperature. So I guess the only limitation... Oh, does tungsten also need a higher temperature? It might, considering the fact that this isn't cooking. Alright, let's upgrade our coils then. The next tier coil then is nichrome, which has to be made in a canthal coiled blast furnace or higher, but because this is my only canthal blast furnace, we'll temporarily retask our titanium blast furnace over to nichrome, and it looks like it'll take it a little while. I unfortunately can't really accelerate this either, because if I do more than one tick, it'll run out of power. Oh well. I need 2 stacks of nichrome, but I think it makes 5 per operation, so it shouldn't take that long. Oh, there's 1 chrome left in the output. Shouldn't take that long to make our 2 stacks of nichrome. As we wait for our nichrome to finish up, let's build the shell of the blast furnaces that'll process tungsten and tungsten steel. So this first one, it should just be tungsten goes in the input chest, or rather tungsten dust goes in the input chest. Hot tungsten ingots will come out of here. I need some way to automatically pull the hot tungsten ingots into our freezer here. And then afterwards, if we want, we can take those regular tungsten ingots and mix them with steel. So we'll put steel in one input bus, tungsten ingots in the other, and this will make tungsten steel. So all that's left is to hook up logistics pipes to some of these chests. No sense keeping hot tungsten ingots for any reason, so we'll add hot tungsten and hot tungsten steel. We'll add the tungsten carbide if we get there, but we'll add those ingots to be supplied automatically to our vacuum freezer so that they'll be frozen and they'll be pulled out from these output chests with provider pipes. Almost have enough nichrome done. One more, there we go. And then we just have to turn these first into wires and then into coils. So into the wire mill you go. Here come our first set of 16 nichrome coils. Aha! So we'll use these, I guess we'll turn our tungsten smelter on before our tungsten steel smelter on. This seems like the natural order of operations here. And man, my base is starting to get a little laggy. Suppose that's not terribly surprising. But anyways, alright, here we go. So it's a HV blast furnace making tungsten, which takes 550 seconds at MV, but since it's HV, we overclock it once. So 550 divided by 2.8, that's around 200 seconds. So about a minute and a half. Wait, no, that's about 3.5 minutes each. That's a little on the slow side, but oh well. Our first 2 tungsten ingots are done, and we'll use them to make the fluid laser relays. These laser relays are actually really good because they are the highest throughput fluid transfer in the game. They can basically transfer an unlimited amount of fluid, and they can even extract an unlimited amount of fluid. I guess that's what really makes them special. Anyways, I just have to turn these shards into a crystal, and then wait for our tungsten to show up. I put them in the wire mill, not the bending machine. So I guess we have to wait for our next 2 ingots of tungsten before I can make the laser relay. Whoopsie doops. Bending machine. Not wire mill, bending machine. 1, 2. 2 tungsten plates. Let's head over to our assembler. And turn that into fluid relays. So this was the most roundabout way to make flux. But all the infrastructure we built for it is, it's not like one-off infrastructure, you know? It's not like this tungsten infrastructure is suddenly going to be useless now that I have flux. So this will still come in handy. In fact, one thing that I might want to make right after this is the glitch-infused armor, which gives creative flight. Because, well, who doesn't like creative flight? So, what did I need this flux for? This was for the chicken, right? Well, we did all the work for the chicken. Let's make it now. Let's charge up some of our diploid polylattice crystals. I'm going to call them Certus quartz, into energized Certus quartz. And then another chicken bites the dust. And let's get our caster's gauntlet. Go. I should have checked. Do I have all those elements? Senses is the only one I might not. Let's see if I can find senses here. If not, it comes from paper. Oh, here it is. 28. Is that enough? Usually you should check this before you start your infusions. Don't be like me. We'll toss a little bit more paper, I guess, in at it. Oh wait, that's not senses. That's cognitio. Is it torches then? Have some torches here. No, what has senses? Ah, all the dyes and petals have senses. In fact, I think the dyes are pure senses. So, light blue it is, I guess, because that's one I have some of. Oh, did it stop? Okay, I was about to say, wait, why did it finish? It couldn't have finished. There we go. We have enough stabilizers that, yeah, even though there's no essential flowing in. Oh, we're out of potentia as well. Jeez, this is a disaster. Alright, we'll give it a stack of coal. But even though there's no potential flowing in, which causes the thing to be... Whoa! I'm glad that didn't burn. I'm glad the scan... Wait. It has aspects on it. I guess I just pulled it out fast enough that it didn't burn it. Phew. Anyways, it generates increased instability while there's no essential flowing in, but I guess we're still stable enough that we're not generating instability events. Alright, we're back on the road. And the fruit of our efforts, a latticite chicken. So we'll do our usual breeding steps. For this, I set up 2 chickens, or 2 roosts worth of chickens. Ooh, it's thunderstorming. Hold on. Break time. Let's grab a bucket of... Actually, let's head over to our void world and see if we can make that, I think weather sync between dimensions, right? It's definitely not thunderstorming here. Alright, hold on. Let's grab a bucket, transfer this back to the overworld, and see if we can get lightning to strike it. I want my antimatter. We'll revisit the chickens in just a second. Alright, I'm trying to get the blood to cover as large an area as possible. From what I've read, flowing as well as source blocks can be the conform, antimatter when they get struck by lightning. So, come on, lightning. Hit me. Wait, my Rending Gale can also do lightning bolts when in thunderstorms. What does it need? Is it glowstone to power that? Let's try it. I don't know, again, if these are actual lightning bolts or not, though. No. No lightning bolt here. Shoot lightning while raining. What do I have to do to lightning it? Do I have to shoot it at something? Ah. I need a mob. Alright, here be mobs. Right, nope. Oh, come on, you didn't kill my source block. Let's try that again. Get in the blood, trolls. Light, nope. That's not lightning mode. Pull bolt. Didn't hit the blood. There we go. Haha, we did it. Alright, now we have antimatter. So this stuff spreads as well, so you have to be a little careful not to turn your whole world into antimatter. Which is probably means I picked a not terribly great spot to do it in. Oh well, let's get out of here before the trolls cause everything around here to be turned into antimatter. Put this back in flight mode so I can fly as well. Victory! Anyways, once you have one bucket of antimatter, it's pretty easy to make more. One wonders how a bucket holds antimatter, but I'm not going to question it. It just does. Anyways, back to our chickens. So, our 2 chickens produce eggs for our fluid extractor. This one fluid extractor can keep up with maybe about 1 billion chickens. It's weird. Sometimes one chicken, like here, one chicken can power 1 million machines. And then sometimes it's the other way around. One machine can power 1 million chickens. Whatever. This turns it into this latticite fluid. I split it between 2 sources. Some goes into the chemical bath, because that's how you make these crystals. You can turn Certus seeds into diploid polylattice crystals. And some go into the centrifuge, where it gets centrifuged into Certus dust, nether quartz dust, and with a rather small chance, nether star dust. It's ULV, so at HV it's plus what? LV, MV, HV, plus 3 tiers. So there's a 0.8% chance per 100 millibuckets that we get nether stardust. Now these are all tiny piles. We want to turn them into regular piles, so we'll use an advanced packager for that. However, you want to shove exactly 9 items at a time over. And that's what the robotic here, I'm going to get rid of this for 1 second. That's what this robotic arm I placed here is for. So you can access it by clicking on the left side of the machine here with the wrench. It's set to supply exact 9. That means that it'll only push items in batches of 9 so that our packager never gets jammed up, right? If you have like 2 pieces of nether quartz dust, it could be, you can never get another piece of nether quartz dust while waiting for more Certus dust. So it does need a programmed circuit, and I'm trying to figure out what number it needs to be on. 1. So a circuit on 1, put our packager here. We do the package, or the circuit does take one of the slots, and we just need to put this output into a chest. Perhaps it's a bit ambitious to use caches to hold these items, because really the only one I much care about is a nether star dust, and to fill a cache with nether stars is, a bit on the ambitious side perhaps, but what's a little ambition going to hurt? Anyways, into here we dump Certus quartz seed and we make these crystals much more cheaply than the normal way, which involves 1 nether star per 4. Here it uses, well, no nether stars per any. Nice. One thing to bear in mind is that this system only produces nether star dust. Now the process of turning nether star dust into nether stars is non-trivial. It takes a implosion chamber and you lose a little bit in the process. Whereas the other way around is trivial. You can just use a pulverizer. But oh well, there's a lot of recipes that will happily accept nether star dust. So when we do any of those, we can use this in place of actual nether stars. And at some point, we're bound to make an implosion chamber, probably. Anyways, next up, let's start making some of that tungsten steel as well. So just complete our second blast furnace here, and into here we put tungsten. We have 9 more ingots done. Again, this takes a long time to make tungsten, but at some point when we have more power, we can upgrade these blast furnaces from HV to, a higher tier. But for now, they're HV. And this is making tungsten steel nice and slowly. Once we have our first couple ingots though, we can make that flight set. So let me start preparing all the other materials we need to make the glitch infused armor set. I spent way too long trying to make these glitch infused ingots using glitch hearts. I forgot that you have to turn them into fragments first. And apparently that's a quest complete. Any rewards? Doesn't look like it. Alright, so anyways, let's get 30 of these maybe. It's almost definitely more than we'll need. Head over to my puddle of water. This used to be where my villager was, but he died some time ago. Enderman accident, these things happen. And that should turn it into glitch ingots. There we go. And hey, that completes another chapter in our quest book. Aha! Sure, I'll put these into our heart canister. They don't actually do anything because no matter what, we only have one. Do these not stack? These two have MBT data. These two don't. I guess they don't stack. Not that it matters. We only have 1 heart no matter what. The extra hearts I gain from wearing this come from the fact that it has runic shielding on it. Need more nether stars, and our little sifter hasn't produced nearly enough yet. So, back to our wither farm. I have audio on 1% and it is still a little bit too loud. Well, that's awkward. Somehow all of my withers ended up free and above the bedrock. I guess I should go chase them down. Alright, I got all of them and I got the nether stars I needed. And now our nether no longer has withers floating around in it. 3 of the pieces take nether star plates and the 4th one takes an improved nether star. So, once this is done, I think we'll be ready to make our glitched infused armor. That'll give us creative flight in all dimensions, which is pretty nifty. There's our nether star. Now, once I make it, I won't quite be ready to wear it yet because I still have to enchant it and put runic shielding on it. But before I enchant it, I also want to upgrade our enchanting setup to level 150. So there's still some steps left. Anyways, boots. I think the iron pieces that go into it I've found in various chests along the way. Legs. Chest piece. And helmet. And here we go, a full glitched infused set. So just to demonstrate, I'll put it on briefly, but it's creative flight. What more is there to say? It's not the fastest creative flight by the looks of things. In fact, I fly faster with my rending gale, but it's still creative flight. Now I just have to enchant and runic shielding it. But would you look at the time? I think that's all we've got for today. So I'll save the enchanting and whatever of the gear for next up. Well, I'll probably do it between episodes because it's really not much to see. But we'll see. In any event, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We went on quite a roundabout journey to get our latticite chicken, but I think next time we'll come back and finish up our gear and move on to the meat system. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.